All right, so the best reason to have a man pay for a babysitter if he wants to take you out on a date is because you're reading out men like this.
So she's referring to a comment. She says, "You're weeding out men like this," referring to this guy. He says, "Laughing my ass off. Y'all bitter single moms need to learn your place. Your kid is a burden, not a good thing." What the F?
Men who get upset about the idea of covering a babysitter to take a woman out who has a child, they want you to be easy, they don't value your time, and they have no respect for you. And, of course, they think of your child as a burden and another man's expense.
So this is actually kind of a new thing we're starting to hear from single moms. And I don't really have a problem with it because what they're doing is they're just further validating someone like Mai's opinion on preferring to stay away from single moms, especially as a young man. Okay, it doesn't make sense. I'm talking about, I guess, women my age. If they're single moms, it's going to be a big no for me. But I understand that if you're an older man, it's going to be kind of hard. Like if you do still want to date women, I mean, it's going to be a little bit tricky to find a woman who's single that doesn't have kids. So at that point, your option would be to try to find a younger woman. Maybe you can go to another country and start looking for women there, like kind of leveraging your resources, your status, whatever, right? But it's no doubt that it's going to be harder as an older man to avoid single moms. But if you can, I think that would be the best way to go. But certainly for me, I'm still in my 20s. If I were to come across a single mom, it's an immediate no. Absolutely not. There's just no way. All right. So there's a little bit of nuance on the whole single mom thing for you. But what I was saying is I'm okay with this because it's just kind of, it's vindicating, it's validating my stance on like staying away from single moms. Like this is a new thing. So now when we say, oh yeah, well, some of them might expect you to pay for the babysitter. That's not like hyperbole. That's we literally have a single mom here advising other single moms to, hey, go ahead and make this guy that you're going to want to date with, make him pay for the babysitter. And I bet this comment here, this piece of content, probably has a lot of likes, a lot of saves, a lot of people saying, that's a good idea. And so you're going to see kind of a snowball effect, and you're actually going to see women try and implement this strategy. It's going to happen. It's happening. It has happened. And so this is just pretty crazy. It is. It's wild.
So you can decide if you want to see a man who's thinking that way. You need to have a man pay for the babysitter if he wants to take you out. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a guy like that. And believe it or not, when that guy gets someone pregnant, whether they're married or not, he's going to start looking at his own baby mother as used goods.
Let me get this straight. Not only do we have a lot of modern women demanding that men still pay for the first date, that's very common. No, we also now have single moms demanding men pay for the babysitter so the babysitter can watch over a child that they did not partake in creating. And so what this is doing is this is setting a precedent, and a very obvious one at that. And so the man is immediately going to realize, wait, you already are expecting me to invest in this child? Holy shit, I can't imagine how much worse it's going to be if we continue to see each other. I can't imagine how much you're going to expect me to invest in this child financially a year from now. Oh my God, you want me to treat this child like it's mine. You want me to pay for this child like it's mine. So I think it's funny, right? It's just like, it's not funny, it's crazy that these women still expect men to pay for the first date for whatever reason. They think they'll cite chivalry, but then they themselves are not the type of women who would ever be qualified for chivalry. but they also expect you to pay for the babysitter. What a time to be alive.
I think I met my first real sassy man last night. He was handsome. He was fine. He had a nice beard, real chocolate dark skin, real dress, nice put together. He was trying to call me over. And bitch, you know me, I'm playing hard to get because all the niggas in the room was trying to get me. So with my grabs my arm and like, hey, he want to talk to you. So I go over and I started talking to him and he like, so what took you so long to come over here? And I said, I had to think about it. Mind you, it was another nigga over on the other corner that I was talking to too. But I was just trying to see what was up. I'm just, you know. And he was like, oh, so you was trying to make a decision? And I was like, yeah. He was like, all right, don't worry about it then. You can go ahead, have a good night. Okay, nigga, bye. The fuck? I got options. What's the problem? If you want me,
So keep in mind, this woman is now in the comfort of her own home after a night out. She's still thinking about this guy. She's still talking about this guy. And what I believe is true is that when women run into a man who does take on this sort of attitude of, no, I'm not going to go out here chasing a bunch of women. I'm going to go ahead and stand right here, and I'm going to understand my own value that I possess as a man. Well, I believe it kind of rubs these women the wrong way. They feel a little bit threatened, and it kind of pisses them off a little bit because it's like, oh, the audacity. But I also believe it turns them on. I also believe they kind of find it attractive. And so it's this inner confliction they feel that causes them to lash out like this. And then, like I said, she's still talking about the guy. She's still thinking about the guy. Do you think she would still be talking or thinking about a guy who was like overly nice to her? No, that guy would be in her mind and out pretty much in a matter of seconds or minutes. But this guy who adopted the attitude of, no, I mean, I'm valuable. I'm not going to go out here and chase and treat you women like you're God's gift to me. I'm going to be kind of over here doing my own thing. It's that attitude that has her sitting here talking about him, thinking about him, even a day later.
Caught my best friend with my boyfriend, but I didn't confront them, and I don't know what to do now. I have known my best friend my entire life. I've always been a loner, but she's always been there. She's the only friend that I've ever had. I will preface this by saying that she is 10 years older than me, so she's more like an older sister and someone that I really look up to. But she introduced me to my boyfriend, actually, and I moved in with her 2 years ago, so we live together, and she works at the university near where we live. She introduced us because they actually used to work together, but me and him hit it off, and we've been together for about 7 months now. Yesterday I was feeling pretty nauseous, so I left work early, and when I got home I saw his shoes there, which is not unusual because, like I said, they were friends before me, so they used to hang out all the time even when I was at work, and they would sit in the hallway and watch YouTube on their phones or whatever. But when I got home this day, they were not in the hallway, so I was like, that's kind of weird. Maybe they're not here. I don't know. So I went into my best friend's room, and when I went in there, I saw them having sex. And I didn't know what to do, so I left and I went to my parents' house, and ever since then I have felt so nauseous and disgusting and just this really unsettling feeling. Like, I know they didn't see me and they don't know that I know, so she was texting me saying, like, are you gonna be late to come home? Like, what's going on? And I just never replied. But I just have this feeling that's just like, it's like eating me up inside, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to confront them. I don't know if I want to confront them. I am going to move all of my stuff out. But yeah, this literally just happened yesterday, and I'm kind of just in shock, and I just am numb now, and I just don't know what to do.
Well, that's super devastating for sure. And this is kind of one of those things where it's always a possibility when you have a man and a woman, they're both heterosexual and they're just friends. It's always a possibility. It's like you've got the hole and you've got the peg that goes in the hole. It's just, that's always there. It's always an option. It's always a risk. And it's always a possibility. So, I mean, that sucks. I do kind of question the legitimacy of the story because she goes to TikTok and tells it, and she's basically saying they don't know that she knows. But now it's going to be kind of like she doesn't know that they know that she knows because she posted it on on TikTok. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty bad. Oh, okay. You can see at the bottom it says Reddit stories. Wait, so she's just reading off Reddit stories? That would make more sense.
So I'm finally officially divorced, and I'm ready to talk about some of the things that has happened. And one of the things was 3 months ago, I found out my best friend was one of my husband's sugar babies. Really hard. Not as hard as everything I found out in the beginning when I left my ex, but really hard because I trusted this girl so much and I kicked everyone out of my life except for her.
Well, does that mean that you also are his sugar baby? I don't. That's all we're gonna get here. She probably is. Yeah, I just like if you're gonna be a gold digger, and this is your guys' arrangement, I guess you can't really be surprised when you're not the only sugar baby, huh?
My date is over. Literally 10 seconds back.
Hey guys, let me tell you something. There are some things that I don't do in Dubai. Like if someone asks me, to meet and they don't have a proper plan, I wouldn't go. Absolutely not. Because why? I'm a baddie, right? I'm a baddie. But I forgot that in London. Like in UK, I forgot that because I don't know what people are like here. Like I don't know the life. I don't know any of that stuff. So I went on this date. What I was worried about was, okay, the place that we go to, like, I hope he's not too awkward with the whole, like, bill situation. I don't mind covering it. Honestly, no problem at all because I want to go out to a nice place as well, whatever. That was my concern. You know what ended up happening? We didn't even eat. We went on a walking date. Do you want to know how many steps I hit? You will find out soon. That was not a glitch, by the way. It was actually 20,000, but 5,000 was me searching for him. The rest, 15,000, was with him. So we walked for like an hour and a half. And then he was, by the end of it, we came back to that starting point and he was like, so what do you want to do next? Chill, eat. That's when it hit me that, oh, this is the date. Like what we just had was the date. Then I was like, oh, no, it's fine. Like, just tell me where to grab something to eat because then I'll just get something and I'm going to go home. He was like, you didn't eat? You should have told me, I would have like taken... Okay, just shut the f*** up because I'm about to pass out right now. Just tell me where a restaurant is. He was like, restaurants are closed. We close, like, all the restaurants in UK, it closes at 10. Yeah, that's one thing I don't like. What? Shut the fuck up. So then we had to go to a grocery store. He was like, okay, I know this one grocery store that's going to be open until 11. I'll take you there and then you can get something to eat, blah, blah, blah. So we both walked another like 5 to 10 minutes. In my head even at this time, I was like, at least he walked me to a grocery store. Twinkle. Went to the grocery store. As soon as we entered, I was like, oh, I'm good now. Like, I'll get something to eat. No problem. Like, you can leave. It's okay. Yeah, I've got this. I'll just get some. He was like, yeah, okay, go ahead. I need to shop for myself as well. Like, I just need to get some stuff for home. Oh, okay. So you basically, it's not like you came to the grocery for me. You came for you and I also came for you. I said, okay. How do you go out with someone and not even ask them, have you eaten anything? Or are you okay? Do you want to stop somewhere? Do you want to grab something to eat? Like, how is that not even a question? Considering the fact that I've told a couple of times that, oh yeah, like walking is not like really my thing. I've just started now. That should be our next thought. Like, okay, I'm with someone that doesn't walk a lot. Let's grab something to eat. Nothing. I'm actually shocked that people can be this. They don't think about another person because for me,
she's talking like a fat girl. She doesn't look like it. She's saying, well, I don't walk a lot, but I do eat a lot, so I'm down for that. Maybe this angle is for a reason. Let's see if she reveals.
Even if I was with a girlfriend, like I'm meeting a woman, the way I am with them is why I expect more from men. Even with girls, we will ask, like, do you want some? Do you want to, take a bite? Like, can we share a plate? So I'm very surprised that people can be like this, but also it's just a reminder to myself to stay home. But that being said, I did walk 20,000 steps. So hopefully when I come back to Dubai, I'm like fitter, So that's the positive thing.
What is it with guys nowadays? Like, why are we both competing to be princesses? Can I be the only woman in the relationship? Is that okay with you? Can I feel like a woman? Can I? Because this whole thing of like, will you come to London like to meet me? Yes, of course. Why don't I also get a ring whilst I'm there? And like, why don't I propose to you? Why don't I get down on one knee, plan a whole proposal and like ask you out? Like ask you to be my girlfriend. Why not? Even though you're a man, like, maybe I should ask you to be my girlfriend. And also the kind of guys that slide into your DMs and, like, they come up with the, I don't know, man, like, weirdest opening line or whatever, but sometimes it's funny, so I respond, and then they start playing hard to get. Do you want me to, like, where is, I don't understand it. So you're messaging me and then you expect me to chase you, like, what? Like, I don't know. I'm just really confused.
So I just want you to keep in mind how strict a lot of these women are when it comes to what they think manhood is supposed to be. And so this is why I sort of am really okay with saying things like, I mean, if this is how this woman thinks, obviously she's revealing to us how she thinks. So then let's start getting real strict with this woman on what she would be, what would allow her to be described as a woman. Like, for one, you're in the public space. This isn't a woman's place. Your place is not putting your opinions out there for other people to hear. Your place is not creating content. Your place is not being a public figure. Your place would then be in the kitchen. Your place would be in the house, not online. So it's like, clearly a lot of these women are holding men to a very strict standard of manhood. But the thing is, it's not their place to determine this. And so I've said it before, but when these women try to dictate the terms of masculinity and put men into a box and put men into their place of what they think manhood is supposed to be, they are inevitably plucking themselves out of what their place would be. It's not your place to dictate the terms of masculinity. Leave that up to other men, and you should trust that men can do it on their own. And so it's like conditional. They want men to lead when these women deem them to be approved of leadership. And so it's just pretty ironic, right? They talk about man be leader. Sounds like you're pro-patriarchy. But then the problem with that is they are not going to follow. They are not going to submit. They're only going to deem you to be approved of leadership when they deem it to be so. Keep that in mind, right? Like, they're very strict. A lot of these women, they're very strict on what they think men should be and what men should do. So I see no reason why we shouldn't also apply that to them. And the difference between that is that it's actually our position, according to them, according to this woman, that they should make plans, they should be the leaders, and what have you. And so here I am, leading and telling these women to go back to their place, which is not the public sphere. It's not being a public figure. It's the kitchen. It's getting kind of dark. I'm losing some energy, so I'm going to go ahead and refuel. And yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos. I've been enjoying making them. I'm really grateful for all of you guys. And so I will see you later. Bye.